Today, we're not going to be talking about grades, exams, none of that, okay? We're going to be talking about law school extracurriculars, particularly getting involved in organizations within your law school. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Angela. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Hey, hello, my name is Angela. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about law school organizations, okay? Getting involved, extracurricular activities. So on my channel, I talk a lot about law school, lawyer life, and the legal profession. So with law school, most of my videos are really based around academics because, as you guys probably already know, grades, academics, all that good stuff is really important in law school. Law school can be very competitive, and many people come to my channel to get tips and tricks on how to navigate the law school experience. But today I thought I would switch it up a little bit, okay? Today we're not going to be talking about grades, exams, none of that, okay? We're going to be talking about law school extracurriculars, particularly getting involved in organizations within your law school. In my opinion, when you get to law school, yes, your grades are your #1 priority, especially your 1L year. However, in my opinion, a person should not just go to law school and put their head down and stay in the books and not get involved in their law school. Although grades are super important, and in my opinion, your #1 priority, they aren't everything, okay? You should be getting involved in organizations within your law school. So before we get into the benefits of participating in organizations, let's talk about what law school organizations there are. Now, of course, as a lawyer, I have to put a caveat out there that every law school is going to have different organizations, right? You know, some schools may have things that other schools don't have. There will be your foundational organizations that you can expect every law school to have, but as I said, they're going to vary. What you will find consistent throughout every law school is that there will be certain categories that you can find for different legal organizations. But one thing I am confident in saying is that there is an organization out there for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter your identity, and no matter what your interest. There will be some organization out there that you will find beneficial to you and your interests and even your identity. So let's talk about it. So there are going to be what I call identity organizations. So ethnicity, race, sexual orientation. So for example, when I was in law school, I was involved in the Black Law Students Association. If you are LGBTQ, they have an association for that. If you're Asian American, they have an association for that, and so on and so forth. So those organizations are a collective of lawyers based on their identity, you know, who they are, what they identify as. The next category would be your journals, okay? I've talked a little bit about journals on my channel before. If you're not new here, you already know I was on Law Review. So essentially, Law Review is a student-run journal that publishes articles written by law professors and other legal professionals or legal scholars. In addition to publishing articles by those legal professionals, there will also be pieces written by law students. Now, usually Law Review isn't the only journal at your law school. It's just usually the most prestigious. So there will be different opportunities for you to participate in law journals because Law Review, like I said, it is the most prestigious. So usually you can't just join. You have to kind of get accepted by either your grades, or there's a write-on where you write a piece and submit it for consideration to be accepted into Law Review. But even if you don't get accepted into Law Review, there are opportunities for you to join other journals usually. So that's something to check out. The next organization or extracurricular you can get involved in is mock trial. And it's exactly what it sounds like. So basically, mock trial is a simulation of a real trial, like a real court trial that law students can get involved in. And students participate in all sorts of mock trial tournaments and competitions. I did not participate in mock trial, so I don't have any kind of real-time actual experience with it, but it seems pretty cool. You learn a lot of skills, you learn how trial works. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you go ahead and look into it a little bit further. This is just a brief overview. Like I said, I did not participate, so I can't really truly speak to the experience. The next extracurricular activity you can get involved in is Moot Court. And Moot Court is not that different from mock trial. From my understanding, Moot Court is also a simulation type of activity. However, you're not going to trial. You're now at the appellate court. So, you know, trial has already happened and you are arguing your points of view, your case to a judge or a panel of judges or arbitrators. So since Moot Court is a simulation at an appellate level, it's different from mock trial because there is no testimony, there is no witness. You already did that in the trial process. And some of this might not make sense just because a lot of you guys haven't went to law school yet, so you guys might not know what the difference is between, you know, the trial level and the appellate level. But essentially, once you get to Moot Court, you have already gone through the trial process, so there's no jury. You're making your arguments directly to the judge or panel of judges. So like I said before, if any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and do a little bit more research and dig more into it. But if I'm not mistaken, I feel like most people who did mock trial also did Moot Court, so you might do both. The next kind of category of law school organizations are joining practice area focused organizations, right? So a lot of people go into law school knowing or thinking they know what they want to do. So you can join the Criminal Law Society, the Tax Law Society, the Human Rights Law Society. There's going to be some sort of organization or a society for different types of law. So if you kind of have an idea of what you might want to practice, you should join that society or at least go to a couple meetings to see if that's something you want to join. So I'm not going to go through all the different types of organizations. There are tons of them. There's Phi Alpha Delta, which is a legal fraternity. There's ACLU, all sorts of nonprofit-based organizations. I've even seen law schools have organizations for non-traditional law students. So I actually get a lot of messages from people who are kind of going to law school later in their life and they want some advice or want to get some insight on whether, you know, how common that is. Because for a non-traditional law school student, their experience is going to be different. They've likely had a career, they likely have a family, they might even work. So their experiences will be different. So essentially what I'm getting at is there's likely going to be some sort of society or organization that you fit in, that you feel is good for you, your path, your interests. So get out there, get involved. And the best way to see what law school organizations there are out there is to just go to the website of the law school you're interested in. If you want to go to Harvard Law, go look at Harvard Law's list of law school organizations. I promise you every law school is gonna list that. All right, so now that we've kind of gone over different categories and different types of law school organizations, let's talk about the benefits of joining law school organizations, of why you should do it. Okay, so the first benefit is gonna be that it's a great resume booster. Firms want to see that you're involved. It's no different from when you applied to law school or when you apply to grad school and they want to know what you were involved in college, or when you apply to college, they're going to want to know what you were involved in when you were in high school. Well, law firms are the same way. They want to know that you were involved. They want to see what your interests are. And it absolutely shows when you are applying for a certain type of position. So say you're interviewing at a crim law firm and because you want to be a criminal lawyer. Well, if you were in the Criminal Law Society, if you attended all these criminal law related events, if you met all these criminal law related people, that's going to look good. You're going to have knowledge and access and experience that some other candidates might not have if they had not joined those different organizations. Okay, so the second benefit is it allows you to have a well-rounded law school experience. Best grades in academics are highly, highly important in law school, but the experience is too, okay? You want to be able to say you got to experience different things, that you went to different events, that you got exposure to different things. You don't want to just say that you kept your head in the books your whole law school experience. Okay, the next one is simple. It allows you to meet people outside of your classes. From my experience, especially 1L year, you're gonna have classes with the same people. If you join different organizations, you're likely to meet more people, make new friends, and really meet people who have the same interests and goals as you. And who doesn't want to do that? So if you're not one that easily makes friends, but you want to make friends, joining an organization will be a great way to do it because it'll be in a smaller setting and you will be able to meet like-minded people. All right, this next one is huge. It's great for networking, okay? These organizations are usually gonna have events, speakers, all sorts of opportunities for you to meet people within the field or interest that you have. And networking, as I've said 1,000 times on this channel, is key. It's key for any legal career, you guys. The statement, it's not what you know, but who you know, sometimes really does ring true in the legal profession. Networking is everything. Your network is everything in the legal profession. And you can get a head start on it in law school, especially by attending events, being involved, getting your name out there, meeting people. You guys, It's probably one of my biggest regrets of law school. I've said this several times, and not that I wasn't involved, but I could have done a much better job at being involved in networking. So please don't make my mistakes. Get out there, put yourself out there. Now that we talked a little bit about the benefits of getting involved in extracurricular activities and just putting yourself out there in law school, let's talk about some tips. And I just have a few, but let's talk about some tips on when you join these organizations, how you need to maneuver it. My first piece of advice would be to take on leadership roles. Take on leadership roles within the organization. Run for president, run for secretary, do all those things. And the reason why I say this is because it will give you experience in different areas, such as, leadership, learning leadership skills, organization skills, running event skills. A lot of these organizations put on events, and as a leader in that organization, you will be a part of that. Another one would be experience with speaking. Like I said, as a leader, you're going to be speaking to the members. It'll give you public speaking experience. So take on that leadership role. Now, this advice is really more geared towards my 2Ls and my 3Ls, because 1L is so important when it comes to grades. You might not want to overwhelm yourself by running for president of the Family Law Society, right? So as a 1L, maybe join a committee, maybe commit to helping with the event. This second one is for my people who are a little introverted and shy, or maybe just didn't get involved in college. You guys, this is your second opportunity to get involved. Get out there, put yourself out there, do it, okay? Even if you're an introvert, that does not mean that you can't get involved. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't meet people. Some of these groups are very, very small, and you wouldn't want to miss out on the opportunity of meeting people and getting exposure to the things that you are interested in. All right, the next one is attend the meetings, okay? A lot of people will join things, I'm guilty, will join organizations and just be a part of it, but not actually attend the meetings, attend the events, and get involved. So make sure that you're attending the meetings. And some of these organizations have local, regional, and national chapters. For example, like I said, I was in the Black Law Students Association. So we had, the South Texas College of Law Black Law Students Association, but then there's also, a Houston one, and a Texas one, and a national one. So my advice would be take your involvement to the next level. If there is a regional or a national chapter, attend those meetings, attend those events, get to know people in other areas. I think that you will find that it will be beneficial later for you when you graduate from law school and you've had this network and these contacts outside of just your law school. And lastly, I just want to iterate to the 1Ls. It's important for you to get involved. Pick one or two things and get involved, but don't overload yourself. So as a 1L, grades come first, okay? Your first year grades, in my opinion, are the most important grades. In my opinion, if you do well your first year, it will set a smooth foundation for the remaining years of your law school career. So focus on grades as a 1L. That doesn't mean don't get involved, but make sure your grades are coming before any extracurricular activities. All right, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys are not yet in law school or you're about to start law school, make sure you do some digging on that website of whatever your target law school is or your future law school. Come back and let me know what organization you are going to join. And if you're already in law school or you have graduated from law school, let me know what was your favorite organization that you joined while in law school. If you have any questions or video requests, let me know in the comments down below. Check out the description box for my frequently asked questions. A lot of you guys ask me the same questions on old videos. What law school did you go to? What do you practice? Everything is in the description box. Make sure you've liked, subscribed, and put your notification bell on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.